Yes, I know the Daniel fast is over for many of us, but I'm gonna keep with these videos because I made them and I want to share them because a lot of the food is good food, and I think it's good food whether it's the Daniel fast or not. But it is the Daniel fast feast where it's all about eating whole foods in a spiritually minded way. I'll be making dinner, and this is a great dinner if you're doing, say, Meatless Monday. So hopefully you'll consider it. This is Veggie Loaf. It is a lot of ingredients: chickpeas, lentils, onion, mushroom, garlic, carrots, cheese seed egg, ground almonds, rice flour, oats, tomato paste, mustard, soy sauce, and rosemary. I got it all in. This is a cheese seed egg. You're going to use it to substitute a regular egg, 1 tablespoon of cheese seeds, and 3 tablespoons of water. And just let that sit while you're doing everything else. Add oil to a hot pan. I usually use olive oil. That's my default oil. Use what you prefer. And just roll it around the pan, make sure it coats the pan, and then to that hot oil you're going to add your onions, your chopped onions. You want to get it nice brown color. We're not caramelizing the onions. I think that actually, I've never done that, but that's not what we're doing here. We're just getting a nice browning on them like this. And I found that it was kind of like the oil was drying out, so instead of adding more oil, I like to add water, which helps you to still move things around the pan, but not add more fat. Once you've sauteed it to a nice brown and nice translucent state, you're going to add rosemary to it, which adds a really wonderful fragrance and kind of makes it more reminiscent of traditional meatloaf. And you need mushrooms in this recipe. I used oyster mushrooms. You can use button mushrooms. I think shiitake would work really well. You want a tender mushroom, which this is, and has a nice texture, so I just chopped it up really finely. Just like that. You don't want big chunks. And I'm going to put that in a bowl, and to that bowl I'm going to add my chickpeas, and you want to mash the chickpeas. The key with this, as always, is not to have a uniform texture. You want something chunky with bits and pieces everywhere, because that's going to be a better bite. Once you've mashed your chickpeas, you add your lentils, and you're going to do the same thing with the lentils. Do a mash, rough mash. And now we're going to check on our cheese seed egg, which by now, if you look at it, you'll see it's kind of thickened and gelatinous. That's going to be your binder. So that's going to help hold all of this together. And it's cheese seed eggs are used a lot in vegan baking. And I've also heard it used as a dietary tool. Like, it helps people feel fuller longer. So anyway, once you've added your cheese seed egg, you're going to add your ground almonds. You can make this with a NutriBullet or with a powerful blender. Then you're going to add your rice flour. As you know, I use rice flour in my Daniel fast cooking. I'm then also going to add in my grated carrots and my oats. Oats are also used as binder as well in this recipe. And once you've added that, you're going to add in your tomato paste and your soy sauce. I found in this recipe that the seasoning amount was just right. I didn't have to add more or less. Maybe you might want to add a little salt and pepper, but I didn't find that I had to. I thought that the amount was pretty on point. Once you've added in your soy sauce, you're going to add in, I think this is a teaspoon of mustard. As always, the details will be in the description box below. And then you add in your now cooled sauteed onions and rosemary, and mix everything with your hands. You can use a spoon if you want, but I like to kind of touch it, get there, because then you can feel and see if it's too wet. If it is, you can add a little bit more rice flour, and then you want to make sure that you press it into the loaf pan well. You want it tightly packed, not loose. It should look like this, and then we pop it in the oven, bake it, I think, for about 30 minutes, and you get this. And this was by far the best I've ever made this. It almost looks meat-like. Not that it matters, because this tastes good on its own, not as a meat substitute, because if you've ever had meatloaf, this tastes nothing like it, but it is delicious in its own right. Great texture. It smelled really good, really beautifully fragrant, and lots of portions so you can feed the family and have leftovers. It is time consuming. There are a lot of ingredients, but I still think it's worth it because it's good for you. So as always, the recipe will be in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.